Alright, hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Soup for the Soul Tarot. So, in this live reading, I'm going to be doing another pick a card. I've just been feeling like doing those more and more as of late. Sorry, just take a drink of water there. And I actually just uploaded one of the pick a cards that I've done recently on my YouTube channel, Soup for the Soul Tarot, if you want to go check that out. Actually, I think it's still in the process of uploading. It was finishing last time I checked. It was close to finishing. So, but in this pick a card reading, I wanted to help the collective here with moving forward from obstacles that you may be experiencing currently on your path. So I'll be doing a pick a pile or pick a card reading for that. But before I delve into pick a cards, I do want to kind of generally read the collective here. I felt really drawn towards this obsidian crystal. And I think, you know, this obsidian tower was the inspiration behind the topic tonight for the pick cards. So I'm actually going to just use this to kind of tap into the collective here and channel in some messages, which is something that I haven't done very often, but I feel more inclined to grow. Anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping. So I feel like the collective here has come quite a long ways. I think the majority of you have a longer ways to go. But I feel like most of you have reached maybe like 25 to 30% of your journey. Maybe some 40, okay? Or maybe some of you may be 40 years old. The number 40 stuck out to me there, so that may particularly resonate for somebody out here. But I feel like the majority of the collective watching tonight still has a significant time left, and I actually feel as if, for whatever reason, you don't feel that way. Maybe you feel like time is speeding up, or maybe you feel as if you've lost out on a lot of opportunities, and maybe the prime time of your life is nearing the end. But this is just a perception issue, I feel. Let's see here as well. You guys may also have lived to the point where you've sustained some injuries, or maybe you are physically feeling you know, the impact of age. Also, for those that have played sports, you know, your body, you may feel is not as flexible or not as sturdy or strong as it used to be. Maybe you find that one of your legs really hurts, maybe your knee really hurts, you know, stuff like this. And you're wondering, what am I gonna do with the rest of my time? I've come up to this point and I still feel like I haven't achieved anything great. I think a lot of you guys may feel as if at this point in your life you should have achieved something great. Maybe you had really big dreams when you were a kid. Okay, which is definitely, I feel like, something that a lot of millennials are going through at this time. So maybe that's you, or maybe you are at the forefront of the Gen Z generation. Okay, it doesn't have to be, it could be any generation really, but I'm just saying that I've noticed that a lot of millennials do feel this way, you know, feeling as if they were going to change the world when they were, you know, a little kid and had big dreams. But, you know, the crushing reality was that maybe that wasn't so achievable, or maybe there were interruptions, or, you know, things that got in the way, you know, life got in the way. And so, but yeah, that's how I feel here. Okay, there's a lot more that I feel, but I think I'm going to stop there before I rant on and on and on. But let's see how all that ties into this reading. All right, so again, the reading, or the topic for this pick a card reading, is how do you move forward from obstacles that you're experiencing along your path? So let's pull some cards that you can choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, Spirit. Pile 1. And pile 1. Move forward despite obstacles, Spirit. So it's pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. All right. I am going to give you guys a minute or two. Honestly, more like 30 seconds to a minute to choose your piles here. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And for those that are here for personal readings, I am not doing a personal reading at this time. However, I do personals from time to time, and if I do have enough energy or time, I can do yours after this reading. That's fine as well. But again, I'm not doing free readings tonight, at least not at this very moment, you know. So if you want to check the link in my bio and check out how you can get a reading with me, please do so. Okay, anyways, I'm going to come back here. All right, give you guys a few more seconds here. Meditate and pick your piles, or pile, or card really, because there's not really a pile. Not yet, anyways. Okay. All right, so I could start. So I'm gonna start with pile 1. All right, pile 1. How can you move forward despite the obstacles along your path. Let's see. We have light into darkness, number 5. Number 5 does represent challenges and changes. Okay. Ooh, okay. So for pile number 1, some of you that may have picked this pile may be dealing with addictions, bad habits, or habits that maybe you're not so proud of. Okay, or you're just really cynical about where you currently find yourself in. Basically, pile 1, you feel like you're in the dark and you're not in a good place, and may even be angry if people try to lecture you about, why don't you go get a job? If you really want to change your life, why don't you go get up and go get a job? You may be feeling angry. You may feel triggered when people give you advice like that because, it's a lot more difficult to pull yourself out of that situation. And even though it may seem like such a simplistic answer, you're a lot more complex than that. There's a lot of other things that you're dealing with inside, especially. All right, let's dig into this a little bit more to see more about pile number 1. And the obstacles that you're currently facing. Background story, pile 1, spirit. Okay, we have cat, independence, solo freedom. Claim your independence and create space between yourself and others. I think you're kind of like that now, I think you're somebody that is rebellious. You don't quite listen to what other people have to say. And so with that being said, you're definitely the person that gets in your own way. You're the biggest obstacle in your path. And I think, for pile 1, you may have a tendency to run away from your problems or not wanting to confront issues. Maybe again, because pile 1, you may be easily triggered. And again, you just don't like being told what to do, especially from people you think don't know what they're talking about, or people that have not walked a mile in your shoes. Although you may be independent in some ways, ironically, you may be codependent on bad habits, and you may be like, well, so what? I gotta live a little bit, Life is not all about love, light, and spirituality and all that foo-foo stuff. It's just like, I'm just not like that. You're just not like that. That's fair. All right. I want to get a little bit more info before we try to answer your question here, or the question. All right, we have feminine. coming out this way. So I'm just actually going to move this over. Bottom of the deck, we have hard life. Yeah. So I feel like you've been stuck in a cycle, in various cycles for a long, long, long time. And with this feminine energy, I mean, you may be resonating in a feminine energy. But what I mean by that is that you have a very passive energy, like the moon. The moon is a feminine energy, and the moon is seen to be, you know, something that attracts. It has magnetic energy, right? It is a receiving energy, you know. It's a watery energy, you know, and in the tarot, water, like the water element is represented by the cups. And what is the cups? The cup receives, you know, water falls into a bowl or a cup or whatever, you know. So it's a receptive energy. And so with you, I feel like, you know, you're not taking a stand in your own life. You're allowing things to fall apart. You're allowing things to, you know, stay in this you know, you're allowing yourself basically to stay in this circumstance because you're not doing anything about it, you know. And again, because of your stubborn and rebellious nature, you just may not want to. And again, like, you are the person standing in your own way, pile one. All right, now we're kind of clear on who you are or what your circumstance is, in a way. Okay, let's dive into some tarot here. I could go on and on and on and on, right? But I don't really want to talk your ear off. I feel like for pile one especially, it's not something that you want to hear anyways. It's like you just probably want me to make a case in point. So pile one. How can you work through these obstacles in your path? We have the Eight of Wands. The Wheel. We have the Nine of Coins, and we have the Four of Coins in the reverse. Bottom of the deck, the World in the reverse. So, how can you move forward? Well, with the Four of Coins in the reverse and the Nine of Coins, there is this energy here of indulgence. Pile one, maybe at times you spend more than you have, or when you have money, you tend to go through it very quickly. And maybe you don't spend it on, let me put it like this. You spend, but you don't invest, pile one. And that's one of your issues here. Because you're just a consumer. you know, and when you consume, I do feel like there's no, you're not thinking long term. It's like you're spending on things that give you that immediate gratification. And so that's part of the reason why you find yourself stuck. That's part of the reason why, you know, you may not be growing financially. Or in your career. You know, usually those things are interlinked. Not always, but a lot of the times they are. And I feel like, again, with my pile ones, you don't particularly care about your spirituality. I think, you know, you're a very practical person, I think. So that's why I'm emphasizing, in order for you to move forward financially and in your career, or if you just want to grow and you just want more for yourself, you guys stop these spending habits and start thinking about how you can, where is the best place to put your money, you know, and what can it do for you? Are you going to get a return on investment on this or not? The Eight of Wands in the World. Again, these are action-oriented cards. The advice is that you have to, because of your slack, in order to get where you would like to be, or just get out of this hole, if you want to, you do have to work very, very, very hard. For example, this is like, I need to work two jobs, you know, or need to expend twice as much energy just to get ahead, or just to get where I want to be. So with that being said, I guess the real question is, I mean, to you, is it worth it? It's going to be hard to play catch up, pile one. So, I mean, it's always worth it long term, I think, for everyone that's usually involved. You know, you may not have anyone around you anymore, or, you know, if you had kids, maybe they're grown, or maybe they're living with somebody else, or maybe you just don't pay as much attention to them. I don't know, but yeah. Okay. So let's see who you can be. At your best, who you can be from these circumstances. Who you can be. We have the bat. I'm going to read this card because I really do like the descriptions of of these cards. Just give me 1 second. This booklet is way down here. All right. This bat also speaks of travel, right? Give me 1 second. Let me just try to find. pretty sure this is in the air element, so I'm trying to find where it is. I think, Pile 1, you definitely have the potential here to be very hardworking, to always be on the go. I also think at your highest potential, you have a knack for communication, so you could be a great salesperson, or, you know, make connections or networking, you know, maybe you'd be good at networking. Okay. Let me see. All right. We have darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. When in balance, accepts, adapts, adjusts. When out of balance, refuses to let go, reminisces. To bring into balance, watch the sunrise. So, yeah, I mean, you can take from that what you will, but I really think that you have experiences that not many people have had. You've been in dark places, you know, and so I think because of that, you're able to understand or comprehend the psychology of humans from a very deep level. You can definitely see the worst in people, and sometimes that can play to your advantage. And also, because of that, you have the potential of somebody that is not going to be easily manipulated or lied to, you know. In fact, you are a very tricky energy because you have had to be, you know. So yeah. For my pile ones, that was, not gonna lie, that was pretty dark. Anyways, interesting though. All right, moving on to pile 2. Those who chose pile 2. Also, for those that resonated with pile 1, please hit the follow button and maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel, Soup for the Soul Tarot. I do post these on there, although it takes me a while for me to upload the videos on there, so please be patient with me. Anyways, pile 2, how can you overcome the obstacles on your path? We have Hecate's butterflies. Ooh, okay. Pile 2, I get the sense that you may feel easily overwhelmed. Maybe you let your fears get the better of you. And maybe there's a challenge with seeing the best in yourself and having confidence in your decisions and who you are, and putting yourself on display. So you guys may shy away from leadership positions or just feel as if you're not worthy of them. All right, I'm gonna let this guide me here. Heads up, I may or may not use the same oracle cards I did for pile 1. I'm just going wherever I feel guided, so tell me more about pile 1, Spirit, and their obstacles. Or I'm sorry, pile 2. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. Pile 2. Tell me more about pile 2 and their obstacles. We have pleasure. Pile 2, I get the feeling you guys are very sweet souls. Very sweet souls and sensitive souls. And it may be very difficult at times to be here, to be incarnated here on Earth. I feel like you guys are always dreaming. I have no doubt that a lot of my pile 2s would be great storytellers. Not necessarily meaning that at the drop of a hat you're able to tell an incredible story, you know, and sell yourself really well to the public. That's not what I mean. Although, you know, that could be a hidden talent. But I think this is more of, you know, people that can creatively express themselves through writing. Maybe you'd be really, really gifted at writing fiction novels or drawing, you know, illustrations or something like that, or painting. I do feel like a lot of pile 2s are artists on the inside, and you may or may not have an outlet for that yet. But you definitely are escapists, escaping off into a better world in your mind, you know, because this one's tough. This one is tough, and I think you realize that there aren't a lot of sensitive souls here. Maybe not as sensitive as you. So what's your obstacle, pile 2? What's your obstacle? Your eyes. I love seeing the world through your eyes. I love how beautiful the world looks and how divinely you perceive those you love. Your eyes are wondrous and beautiful, whether looking into them or looking through them. Yeah, so I think your perception is very beautiful. Again, like your worldview. Maybe not even your worldview, but just how you see things. I think you definitely have a tendency to fantasize, you know. You have a dreamy quality. Still lost on what the challenge is for you though, so I'm gonna pull a few more cards here. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. All right. For pile 2, I feel like the obstacle for you is that you let your past really, really have a grip on you. It's holding you back. You find that you end up in situations where you're the victim a lot. I think you just fall prey to the same cycles, you know, and maybe it's something that you don't realize. And that's again just because you're so sweet, and maybe in some ways you don't see this as being wrong, you know, seeing the world through your eyes, like how could it be wrong? You know, if anything, everyone should see the world through your eyes. It would be a much more beautiful and peaceful and harmonious world we would live in. But honey, that's just not the reality. That's just not the reality, pile 2. You know, that's not what we're here to learn exactly. You're also here to be toughened up as well. You know, you're also here to become strong and resilient, and to learn to stand up for yourself, to learn to fight for what you want. And in some ways, those are good qualities too, you know? So I love that you're soft and beautiful, and there's this very feminine quality to you. But you do need some kind of balance within you, you know, and it's not always a bad thing, you know, to assert yourself. It's not always a bad thing to fight for what you think is right. It's not always a bad thing. So maybe there needs to be a change in perspective. You know, maybe masculine energy kind of scares you a bit. You know, or at least embodying that is just something so foreign to you. So let's pull some more tarot cards and see how you can more smoothly transition, I guess, so you can become a bit more balanced within yourself. Pile 2. So you can overcome these obstacles. Because I feel like you're always on the precipice of something, or you may be on the precipice of something. You know, it's like you see where you're supposed to go, or maybe you know the steps, or you know the right answers. Like you have a key, you know, but do you have the confidence to walk up those steps? Do you have the confidence to see what's on the other side? To walk into the unknown? All right, how can you better transition, pile 2? Okay, 3 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, for one, I want to say stop listening to what other people are saying to you. 8 of Cups. And the 6, what is this? The 4 of Wands, I'm sorry, in the reverse. bottom of the deck, the King of Coins in the reverse. Yeah, honestly, what's holding you back from your goals, from taking on positions that pay you what you're worth, you know, is this lack of confidence in yourself. And honestly, just believing the negativity. I think, you know, you're really hard on yourself. You know, I do think pile 2, you are empathic. A lot of you guys are empaths. And so you're overly sensitive to criticism, okay, or even just energy that's negative towards you. You feel it and you feel like you're, you know, being slapped around or beaten, you know, and you're just like, I just don't, yeah, I feel wounded. I feel wounded inside. But Spirit wants you to recognize that you're also giving too much credence to other people's opinions and to other people's negative energies, because you can choose for it to not affect you. You can choose to protect yourself from the energy. I know it seems impossible, but there is a way. And that way may be different for each and every one of you. Okay, but I really think something that's helped me personally is trying not to feed into those thoughts. And that's taking back your power. Choosing not to think about that. Choosing to concentrate rather on something more productive for yourself. Because we can't help what other people are going to say. We can't help what other people's energies are around us. You know, we do have to coexist in a lot of spaces that we're in, unless we're working from home, you know? And even then, we still have to coexist with people that we're interacting with online or on the phone, for a lot of us, right? So, you know, this is something that you do have to learn. Just not to feed into that negativity. And if you have friendships that are actually negative, like these are fake friends, these are people that give you constant backhanded compliments, like they're not genuine, they don't really care, they just want to put you down, they just want to make sure you know your place in respect to who they are, I would separate yourself from them, because it's not doing you any favors. It's not. And I know that's harsh, but maybe, you know, I would just think about that more. You know, I know because we love people, we want to try to tolerate them, and no one's perfect. So, you know, I get that. But for you, your problem is that you're attached to those too much to people that really negatively affecting you, and you do need space. You do need boundaries. There may be some fear with the 8 of Cups, and you walking away from people like this, or walking away from an environment. There may be some fear because maybe you don't want to be alone. Maybe you're afraid of what else is out there. But I think you're being encouraged to do so. You know, you have to choose yourself. And sometimes that means choosing yourself over the people you have relationships with, you know. And if they're really your people, they would at least hear where you're coming from. So I feel like I can stop there, pile 2. All right. So if you resonated with that, please hit the follow button and maybe even subscribe to my channel, Seek for the Soul Tarot. And we are moving on, last but not least, to pile 3. I'm going to drink some water here because I'm kind of coughing now. I guess I'll just put the card down. All right, pile 3. I feel like we've been through a lot already. Ooh, after pile 2, I feel like I needed to get some air. Okay. Pile 3. How can you move forward despite the obstacles on your path? Wow, we have number 25, Listen to the Dead. Such a beautiful card, by the way, and honestly, I haven't seen this card come out until now. So at least in a shuffle, you know. So these people here, I already know you have something to say. You have a voice, whether, you know, you literally vocalize it or whether it comes through some other form of expression, you know. Maybe it's through your creativity. Maybe your art speaks for itself, you know. I also feel as if you guys, for pile 3, you guys kind of tend to do your own thing. You know, you guys are not followers. You guys just really are truly independent people here. And pile 3, you have the potential definitely to be trendsetters. Oh my God, what am I saying? Trendsetters. All right. So what is going on? What is the obstacle here? Okay. So my guides are telling me here that there seems to be this feeling of hitting a dead end. Feeling a bit lost. Like, where to next? Maybe right now you don't have anything in particular that's really inspiring you. And if you're somebody that thinks like an artist, that could definitely put a damper on things. Bathtub, self-care, recharge, cleanse. Establish rituals that nurture your soul and clear your mind. There's like what is the word I'm looking for? They call it a writer's block. And honestly, that's the closest thing to what I'm trying to say. Is that right now you feel like you reached a dead end. You're having a hard time seeing what really inspires you or getting inspiration from things. And honestly, I think your guides just want you to relax, okay? They're like, really, sometimes the best work comes from your dreams, you know? And that's when you're in a subconscious state, or in an unconscious state, not really subconscious, but an unconscious state. So I feel like for pile 3, you may be bored waiting. They really want you to just relax. And it may be hard for you to do that, maybe because you're feeling some pressure. But let's see what else we have here. How do we overcome these obstacles? Pile 3. I also feel like pile 3, whether you realize it or not, you have a close connection with your bloodline or passed down ancestors. We have continuance apple. It's family here. Let's see what else. Maybe your family is also expecting you to kind of get up and get out. I'm hearing get up, get out, and get out of my head. That's a song that popped in my head. I'm pretty sure that's a song. Just don't know what that song is called, but yeah, I feel like you're definitely somebody that maybe people have looked up to, or maybe like if you have younger siblings or maybe people in your family, they definitely see your potential. They do, but maybe they wonder what you're doing with it, you know? Maybe they see that you haven't reached your full potential. For pile 3, and that's something that you feel, it's something that you know. Maybe that's something that's like unspoken, or maybe it has been spoken, but you know. But you're like, but I just don't know how to apply myself though. You're like, how does my energy relate to anything that's going on in the world right now that could be valuable and where I can get paid what I feel like I'm valued, you know? And, you know, that is really difficult, right? When you feel like you can add something unique, or you have a unique voice, or you have a unique vision, and you want to really pave your own path, but maybe you're not quite sure how to do that. Again, we have snow, rest. We have rest, okay, and contemplation. So with this pile, I feel like that aha moment, or these aha moments, are going to happen when you least expect them. I really do. And honestly, that's when they usually happen. You can't force this. you know. And maybe it's difficult because you just feel like you've been waiting for so long. You know, maybe you just feel like at this point in your life, you should be further along, or you should have created something already that's reflective of who you are. But maybe there's some shame that you're carrying because of that. I also feel like you kind of need to get out of this environment. I just feel like in order for you to really grow, maybe traveling is going to be something that's going to be very influential for you moving forward. How can pile 3 get around their obstacles, Spirit? Okay, we have a 7 of Swords. We have the 3 of Cups in the reverse. The King of Swords in the reverse, and the 2 of Wands. Wow. Maybe some harsh words were expressed here. On the deck, the 4 of Coins. So I do feel, you know, your savings may be running out. Maybe you feel like as if you don't really have much left. Ooh. So there's some defensive energy here. You may feel a little defensive, especially if, you know, loved ones, like family members have really commented on your current state. Especially maybe when it comes to financials. Especially if you're living with a family, or you're living with people that have a family of their own. So there may be some stress eating here that's happening. So pile 3, just be careful with what you spend. You know, with what you have left, I think it's important to be frugal with your money. To be careful with your money. Because I think for pile 3 right now, you're not in a position where you can freely spend as much. honestly, pile 3, I really feel like you do need to try to transition away from this situation, from this living situation more specifically. I think it would benefit you to try to move. Like, you can't be stuck here forever. Yes, you know, that may be easier said than done, but maybe sacrificing comfort level and maybe the stress will be worth it long term, because you do need to make progress here. And you know, even though you're not getting much inspiration, maybe creatively, to ultimately maybe do what you want, the reality is you still need to pay your bills. You know, you still need a roof over your head. You still need to spend money in order to eat. So sometimes, you know, what you really desire is kind of placed on the back burner for a while until you kind of get yourself in a financially better place. And so maybe right now a big thing that could be beneficial for you is saving money for a rainy day. I think you should definitely be saving a lot more than spending, you know. Sometimes that also means getting a job that you wouldn't maybe normally work in, just so you have something, so you have money, you know. And although this is not a long-term solution, this is not what you ultimately want to do, maybe it's something that you have to do for now, you know. All right, so let's actually just pull advice for pile 3. Let go. This says, there is someone in your life who deeply hurts you. I see it and I see the truth. You don't deserve to be hurt and harmed in these ways. You deserve so much more. I will help you find the strength to let go of this person if you are ready. So the advice for you is to cut yourself free of something here. You know, I really feel like you're being encouraged to find your own way. It's not going to be easy. I would be lying to you if I said it was going to be easy. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to cut myself from the situation. I'm going to go try to live on my own, and then all the blessings will come flowing in. No, that's not how that always works. Sometimes there's, you know, years and years and years of grinding and struggling in order to get where we want to be, and in order to work through our karma. and finally get the reward. So I do feel like it's going to be a grind. I do. I wish, I could snap my fingers, and you could have it all. But you do have gifts, pile 3. You do have gifts within you that have been passed down through your bloodline. There's a seed within you that has potential to grow. But you have to take a chance on yourself. You may be a starving artist for a little while, working jobs that you don't really care about, but maybe that's your path. Maybe you're asking yourself, is there a better way? I think you gotta just take that first step and find out for yourself. You're not going to be able to see staying in the same place you've been, Pile 3, you got to take that first step. I'm going to pull one more card because I feel already that it's not enough. Like I need more closure. I need something else. So I'm going to pull one more card as an advice card for pile 3. One more, Spirit. Pile 3, you also may be, if you're a male, you may be attracted to, well, I guess if you're a male, why wouldn't you be attracted to beautiful women? But, anyways, maybe you admire, like, the beauty of just a woman, Anyways. We have relaxation. Let me read from this. It says, Harvest Moon. On a warm, peaceful autumn night, a gentle haze softens the light of the full moon. The songs of night birds softly emerge through the dark against the backdrop of the sonorous outpouring of the frogs that line the lake's shore. The stillness allows your senses to expand. You inhale the earthy dampness in the air, hear the nuances of the night sounds, look at the muted reflections of the moon in the lake, and sense the deep quietude of the night. A full moon occurring close to the autumn equinox is called a harvest moon. The harvest moon symbolizes that you have worked. In other words, you can put your feet up, relax, and let go. When you receive this card, relax. All is well. Beneath the surface of life, everything is gently propelling you